Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here, so welcome back in the morning here. So if I hop over here to the sheep barn, you can see we don't quite have 3,000 liters, so again, taking quite a bit of time. We've got over 10,000 liters of food, but where we are getting into a dangerous spot is we do need to get some more food into the cows so that we can continue producing slurry. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can move some silage over. I certainly know I can do that. But in my TMR mixer, I am short of hay, and I don't have any hay on the field. So I'm going to have to get that cut up and go ahead and process some of that. So I'm going to go ahead and work through that, and I'll get back to you once I have some of that work done. Alright, so I'm back. I had gone over to the field to start to mow it. I figured I'd do this one here by the barn and get the hay off here, but it looks like I have some ready to be picked up, and I think I have some grass on the other field, so should be all set. But it looks like, I've got a little bit here that I can collect. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now again, I could windrow it or whatever, but there's just not that much here. And so running up and down the field, it's probably going to be kind of 6 1/2 dozen of the other as to how quickly one or the other will work. So even though I'm going to have to do kind of multiple runs of this, potentially, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I can fit 18,000 liters of hay into the TMR mixer at this point. I don't really have anywhere else to store it that I can get it out of, because the other silo will turn hay into silage, but I won't have hay, so that's not going to be very helpful in that case. So I've got the fill limiter set to 18,000, so that should go ahead and let me not over pull off the field. And then, we'll also see what we have left here, because we've got several kind of ways to go about this. Just a little bit kind of messy and sloppy, but doing the best we can. That actually worked out better than I would have thought, although I think I left a tiny bit, but I don't know that that's really worth worrying about. We'll see what we get picked up here. Obviously just a thin bunch of hay. The next row over is a little bit wider, so I may just clean that up that way and see if I could at least get that taken care of. The goal here, I missed that little bit. Certainly would love to try to do that a little cleaner, but the goal here would be to get as much of this off the field as I can, so that when I work the field again, I'm getting a fresh batch of hay and so forth. So I would say there appears to be more here than I would have, or less here, that I have to go through more rows to collect what I need than I was expecting. So I think I'm kind of barely going to have 18,000 on the field here. I think we'll have to delve into the next large row, which I do here. But we'll head on over that way, and now we will fill up pretty quickly. There we go. But I might have another few thousand on the field here. I certainly don't have a significant amount. Good news is we really did have hay on the field. I always worry sometimes if I'm seeing the right product, but I am. So, and able to get it all in there. Alright, so I'm going to grab the TMR wagon out of here, guess it's really a TMR mixer, but at this point we're just using it for transport. Alright, so I've dumped one load of TMR in there. I'm trying to keep this really short on all the other work because I really would just like to get the wool done, but it's really starting to look like I'm going to need many, many months. So I'm just really trying to figure out if I just kind of let everything on the farm kind of sit until then, or if I try to keep things going. Alright, so I've gone ahead and decided, yes, I'm just trying to get through here and get done. But I'm in September. I still only have 7,000 liters of wool out of the 19,000 I need, but I'm down to 1,000 liters of food, so I need to get the sheep some more grass to eat. So I'm gonna get that collected up. That should put me in a pretty good spot here. But you can see it's starting the second row. I don't know how much of this wool I'll be able to take in each load, but I'll worry about that later. Alright, I'm not sure if it'll take this whole amount or not. It does not. 11,500. We had a little over 1,000 in there, as I said. The bigger issue, as you can see, is I'm, losing $2,000 a day and just farm maintenance where nothing is happening. So you can see here, it's really well over 2,500. So it's quite a bit. So we're here a few months later in November. I'm going to go ahead and get some of this wool delivered because I'm pretty sure I'm not easily going to be able to fit much more on here. I don't even think I'll be able to take what I have, but I'm going to get this trailer loaded up the best I can and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, so I've got 9,000 liters on the trailer and then we've got almost another 1,000 there, so we're getting closer. We've got 10,000 out of the 19,000, but still need to go a little further. Still got 5,000 of food, so we're going to get a couple more days out of food, which is going to give us a couple more pallets of wool, I'm sure. We are full here. In the course of all of this, we have maxed out to our 65 sheep, so at this point, we are as highly productive as we can be. Moving on here to January, so I've got another batch of grass. I've probably got another 10,000 on here. The sheep actually ran out of food overnight, but I think they're still okay. They didn't get down to 0% health, so they'll be producing, but it'll be a little bit slower for a few hours. And I'm going to go ahead with 12,000 liters. So basically I can't really say I created another 3,000, but it was pretty close to that. Might have actually been that, because I've got 3 parcels or 3 bales of wool on the next pallet. So I'm assuming that means I have over 750 liters sitting there already. But either way, I was not going to get 19,000 on the trailer. At best, I was going to get 18, so I don't want to push it too much. So I'm going to make a separate trip now, and then hopefully in a few more months, maybe in the spring or the summer, we'll finally be done with this. Made the run over here to Moondogs, so we're going to go ahead and get this delivered. And we can see the countdown. We're down to 7,000, 30,000 plus 2,000 environmental. So that basically almost gets us even with what we spent just to maintain the farm. So I'm really making nothing on this. Did that car just appear out of nowhere? I think it did. I could be wrong. But I think it just spawned right there, but I could be wrong. Maybe I was just blind. was too busy looking at the floating deer pack, so that seems to happen a little bit on the map here. I guess to fill in the gap in the situation, I did decide, because the slurry isn't needed at the next level, it's needed at the level after that, that I can, while I'm working on other things, kind of continue to keep the cows moving at that point, and that should get me what I need. I've already got 100,000 liters of slurry, so I'm about halfway to what I need for the VIP order. So the hope is over the few months that I'm going to need to do things for the level 10 orders, then the cows can go ahead and produce and so forth. Here we are in April. Alright, so late afternoon, and we got our 7,000 liters. So I'm going to be able to take that over to Moondogs, and finally we'll have our level 9 orders complete. So I'll see you over at Moondogs. Alright, so we are here. And as you can see, we have done it, and we've got our 201,700. And level 10 is now what we need. So almost 1.2 million. So overall, did well. Go ahead and get this lined up over here, because that will be what we're going to start working on tomorrow. But I think today I'm pretty happy with what I got done. So the sheep are doing their thing. They've still got some food, 2,000 liters, but I don't need any future wool for a bit. So I could just kind of let that go like I've done with the chickens or whatever, just so I don't overproduce things, because otherwise it gets way too busy on the farm to try to keep everything going when you're trying to get these orders taken care of. So let's take a look. Again, we've got to do wood. I've done wood earlier. If you've not seen that episode, basically, again, because it's a VIP order series, I'm not looking to necessarily kill myself with the work needed to do certain things. Some of this stuff's pretty challenging as it is already. So, you know, I get the trees loaded and get them over to the carpentry center, but, you know, I'm not loading them. Yeah, I'm loading them by hand is basically what I'm doing. So I'm just making it a little simpler rather than trying to do it with equipment. And once again, just as before, you know, other than showing, hey, here are the trees, here's what I'm taking out, likely not going to do a whole lot of showing any work that's going on there. We'll just get that done. We've got the soybeans that are definitely done at this point. We have enough sunflowers. I was suddenly having a quick moment of panic, but again, that's right. We have enough sunflowers in the silo, and, you know, we're just going to have to keep moving with the tomatoes. So I will probably start with the tomatoes, because right now the greenhouses are full to capacity, which means they've got what they have out here, plus they have 8,000 in storage that are going to come out. So that means I've got probably 30,000-ish or so of the 40,000 already done, which bodes well. I mean, we might have a few days to get the 11,000 that we need, but this should get us moving along pretty well. So that will be the start of what I work on tomorrow, and then we can see we're going to get 175,000. The next level is 273, the next one is 213, but let's take a look at what has been exposed now for level 13. Alright, well, so we're going to need raisins here, we're going to need grape juice here, we're going to need some more soybeans, so it's possible we'll be good with what we get off the field here. I'm sure we'll be fine. Got a significant amount of potatoes, so we continue to need potatoes on the farm, so that's going to keep making things a bit interesting, but I'm trying to push ahead, but yeah, I need to also then figure out what I'm going to do, because clearly I need vines. I just don't know how many. So that will be the challenge, and at this point I may just go ahead and figure out what equipment I need, and I may just buy the equipment for grapes, because clearly we're needing a couple levels of it. I'm going to have to think that one through. This is kind of the same reason where potatoes, even though I need them multiple times here, buying the harvester just doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. So I'm still struggling with buying all the equipment for grapes, but I'm definitely getting some intriguing items. I'm surprised we only have 3, but I think part of it is the fact that we have so many potatoes. I mean, we have a good amount here too in level 11, but yeah, this kind of goes to a whole new level. For now, I'm just happy we finally gotten the level 9 orders done. We're into double-digit level orders for the VIPs, and I'm expecting it's going to continue to be a bit more challenging each time. So, and it's certainly laying out to do that, but probably what I'm going to need to start doing, so maybe I probably will certainly unload some of the tomatoes so that the greenhouses can start moving, but then I think the focus very quickly has to be on the vineyard. So I'm going to have to take a look at that, and so we'll be getting into that, I'm sure, in the next episode as well. And I have some ideas for what I might want to do there. I'm going to think on that a little bit more, and we'll get into that next time. So I'll see you then.